Okay, so all of y'all are aware that there's this uh, new artificial intelligence called Chat GPT, and you can ask it all kinds of questions like, um, well, let me start by saying my name is Jeffrey Klein. I'm a board certified OBGYN. I practice in the Houston, Texas area, and I've been in practice for about 30 years, including residency. I can tell you I've had a hard time keeping up with all the research that we need to keep up with because, well, it's hard to make the time to do it. I've discovered, as many people have, this incredible tool called Chat GPT, where it's from OpenAI, where you could it's an artificial intelligence that has been fed 200 billion pieces of information, and it is quite amazing if you haven't tried it out. And I found one of the best um, uses for this tool is how to is to keep up with the research, and I'm going to show you a quick, easy way of doing that online. Okay, I asked ChatGPT this question. Now you can go. Here's their website. It's chat.openai.com/chat. You can create a free account, and you can use this all you want. I asked it a very simple question: how does one become an OB-GYN in the United States? And it basically gives this answer. All right, so let me show you how you can use this to keep up with the literature as it comes out. I have pulled up here December 2022 Green Journal, and this is the latest version. And we can go to original research, and you can see long-term relugolics for symptomatic uterine fibroids. Okay, so we can look at this article. And here's the entire study right here. But I can tell you I am not very good at reading these studies. So what you can do is just basically you select the entire study. Okay, and you copy it, and you go into ChatGPT and you go something along the lines of summarize this article for me, and paste it in there, hit enter, and here it goes. So relugolics in combination with estradiol norethindrone is effective in treating uterine fibroids in women without significant side effects. Oral once daily showed that reduced menstrual blood loss, preserved bone mineral density, and reduced the size of the fibroids. Interesting, right? So, can you expand on that? Certainly. 477 women given a once daily relugolics, estradiol norethindrone acetate, followed for 52 weeks, and the results showed that the treatment was effective in reducing menstrual blood loss, preserving bone mineral density, and reducing the size of fibroids. And basically it says, no significant side effects were reported. So rather than reading that whole journal, you can basically get that information fairly quickly. Alright, let's just do another one here. Obstetric and neonatal outcomes one or more years after a diagnosis of breast cancer. So that's interesting. Let's see what that one looks like. Alright, let's just go in and just copy that whole article. Copy, and just once again, I didn't switch screens for you. Okay, you can see here's the article I was talking about. This is the obstetric and neonatal outcomes one or more years after a diagnosis of breast cancer. And so we go back to GPT and say summarize this article for me, and paste it in, hit enter. Here we go. Let's see what it says. A study published in the Journal of Obstetrics and Gynecology has found that women who have been diagnosed with breast cancer and subsequently give birth do not have a higher risk of adverse obstetric and neonatal outcomes compared to women who have not had cancer. California study, 30,000 women, stage 1 to 3 breast cancer, 2000 to 2012, and then gave birth. And that study showed that the women with a history of breast cancer did not have a higher risk of preterm birth, delivering a small for gestational age baby, experience severe maternal morbidity, or having a baby with neonatal morbidity compared to a control group of women without cancer. So you don't have to read the whole article, you get the information, and it saves you a lot of time. So, alright, let's do another one. Go back to the page before. Association between obesity and fetal acidosis and scheduled cesarean delivery. Let's see what that one shows. Okay, let's see. Once again, we'll copy that whole thing. Copy it. And we'll go back to GPT and say, summarize this article for me, and hit enter. There we go. Study published in the Journal of Obstetrics and Gynecology has found that women who are obese and undergo a scheduled cesarean delivery are at an increased risk of their baby having acidosis, which is a condition in which the blood becomes too acidic. The study was based on data from 4 academic centers in New York City, 6,264 women, 2013 to 2019. And basically showed that the obese women, 3.7% compared to the non-obese 1.9%. Researchers suggested obesity may increase the risk of acidosis by impairing oxygen delivery to the baby and causing chronic inflammation. Well, that's interesting. I'm not sure how we're supposed to change that before they deliver, but it's an interesting study. Okay, next one. Postpartum hemorrhage in twin pregnancies according to the sum of birth weights. Interesting. All right, let's see. Alright, we'll copy this whole thing. Copy. And we'll paste it in here. Summarize this study for me. Paste it in there. And let's see what it says. Study that examines the relationship between. Well, that's interesting. I just did the same one. Interesting. Try that again. Twin pregnancies, the risk of severe postpartum hemorrhage increased linearly with the sum of the twins' birth weight. The study was a secondary analysis of the Gemudo cohort. Twin deliveries in France from 2014 to 2015. Association between the sum of the twins' birth weights and severe postpartum hemorrhage was assessed using a regression model. Postpartum hemorrhage occurred in 4.5% of patients with twin pregnancies, and the risk increased with the sum of the twins' birth weights. Interesting. Would have never guessed something like that. Very cool. Right. Let's do another one. can see how you can get through these studies very quickly. Pregnancy outcomes and pre-viable and peri-viable ruptured membrane after photocoagulation for twin transfusion. Alright, let's see what that says. Okay, like before, we'll copy it. And we'll paste. Interesting. Let's see what it says. Pre-viable and peri-viable rupture of membranes after the treatment of twin transfusion. The study found that earlier gestational age at PROM was associated with a longer latency but a lower rates of survival. PROM occurred before 26 weeks of gestation and latency exceeded 48 hours. Rates of neonatal survival were improved. The study also found that the rate of survival of both twins to neonatal intensive care unit discharge was 46.3 in the setting of PROM before 26 weeks and 76.9% in the setting of PROM at 26 weeks of gestation or later. That's pretty interesting. Alright, let's do another one. Allostatic load and adverse pregnancy outcome. Alright, well, let's do this. First, I want to do this. What does allostatic mean? Allostasis is present. The body maintains physiologic stability and balance in response to physical, emotional, or psychological stress. This can involve the activation of physiologic systems such as nervous, immune, and endocrine systems to adapt to changes in the environment. Refers to the physiologic changes that occur in response to allostasis. Interesting. Okay, well, you learned something new today. So let's see what this study shows about allostatic load and pregnancy outcome. Adverse pregnancy outcome. Copy that. Go into GPT. And we'll go alright, study published, issue such allostatic load, a measure of chronic stress and adverse pregnancy outcomes. The study found that high allostatic load in the first trimester is significantly associated with adverse pregnancy outcomes, particularly hypertension. Huh. Allostatic load was also found to be a partial mediator between self-reported rates and adverse pregnancy outcomes. Interesting. How many patients were in the study? See if it knows. Well, yeah, sometimes you get that. Very interesting. Well, anyway, I think that gives you kind of the idea of how you can use Chat GPT to read your research studies quickly and save yourself a lot of time when you're looking at journals. All right, all done. Good luck, and we'll see you next time.